What am I saying? Will Smith took shots at Chris Rock during a freestyle. Brother, it's been 3 years. People are calling this a midlife crisis, but you take one look at Jada, and clearly this is a midwife crisis. This diss came after Will's new song, Pretty Girls, dropped and flopped. The song, like his wife around her son's friends, sucks. Now, Will Smith wants to reframe him crying like a baby because a comedian told a joke that he didn't like into some cool tough guy moment. Hey, Will, I would worry less about whose mouth your wife's name is in and more about who's in your wife's mouth. I'm Lewis Spears. Welcome back to Lou Review. Like, subscribe, and let's break it down. I can't believe I'm saying this, but Will Smith is trying to come back after he completely tanked his reputation by having his affairs and public drama be aired by his own wife and then crashing out over it so bad that he ended up assaulting a comedian for telling a joke about her looking like a bowling ball. This man did an interview with his wife about why she cheated on him, where she refused to acknowledge that that's what she did until he pressed her to do so, and then for some reason they still posted it.
You and I decided we were going to take our space, and what happened?
Yeah, and then I got into an entanglement with August. That's what I said.
An entanglement?
Yes. Yes.
A relationship?
Yes, it was a relationship, absolutely.
Every time I watch this, you can just see Will Smith's soul fracture into another 1,000 pieces because this is already a broken man and sitting in front of the camera, but hearing her describe it as an entanglement when what really happened was she took in one of her son's friends who was 22 and struggling with an addiction to opiates, and she took advantage of him for years behind Will Smith's back. Why would you post this? You might as well just, I don't know, live stream your reaction in the cuck chair. That is...
Oh, that's hot. That's hot.
Hey, by the way, I'm touring. Come and see me live in 2025. I'm going all over, dude. Come and see me. You know, there's the dates. Buy your tickets.
Of that relationship, I definitely realized that you can't find happiness outside of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I was really struggling with depression, so I thought fucking and sucking a guy addicted to Percocets would help, but apparently it didn't. So I would like to apologize in front of 100 million people while also downplaying what I did. Brother, Will, what's going on? Why did you think anyone could respect you after you willingly participated in this? And now Will Smith is trying to refresh his brand, and you can tell that he spent millions of dollars with some PR company to try and launch the Will Smith brand into the stratosphere again, and it's just not working. This man is doing TikToks with kids 30 years younger than him, you know? Thank goodness his wife isn't doing this because she would fuck every one of them. Unfortunately, this rebrand using TikTokers is not working for Will because we all remember him losing his mind over Chris Rock's joke about his wife looking like G.I. Jane because she's fucking bald, which is a pretty harmless joke as far as jokes about women being bald go. I personally would have called her a fucking bowling ball because it looks like she polishes that head, and also strangers put 3 fingers in her at a time. Not to be deterred by the absolute disaster that is the public's perception of Will thanks to his thoughts and actions, Will released this freestyle warning us of what was to come. This was 2 months ago, and he's made good on the promise.
Watch Will, y'all. This is the bounce back. Here come the bounce back. Keep your eyes on him. This is the bounce back.
Bro, you sound like Shane Dawson's Sex Life. Who would want to listen to that, man? That's no good, brother. No one on earth is like, yo, chuck that new Will Smith on. You're scaring me, mate. Also, why is your face that big? What's going on with your head?
People ask me how I do it. I just bite off more than I can chew. Then I chew it. Yeah, y'all jokers thought I blew it. I pulled the pin out the grenade on purpose when I threw it.
You ask me how I do it. I bite off more than I can chew, and then I chew it. I pulled the pin out of the grenade on purpose, then I threw it. As opposed to what? Accidentally pulling the pin out, throwing it, and then remembering to pull the pin out later. What the fuck? What the fuck? This is like dementia rap. What's going on? The AI video of Will Smith eating spaghetti looks more real than what I'm watching right now. Who the fuck wrote this? Joe Biden? Yeah, you asked me how I do it. Well, just about a morning I chewing that chewing. I had a black friend when I was in high school and pulled the pin out of a grenade on purpose and then I threw it. That was 2 months ago, which was the start of Will Smith's failed rebrand, and it's only gotten worse. I mean, I don't know how you would fix this, to be honest. Whoever managed to get a few $1 million to fuck up Will Smith's brand even further, don't put it on your resume, but well done. You've really secured the bag there because it's endless work, isn't it? Like, you can never fix his brand after what he did to himself. Even like the alpha males on Twitter are eating this man alive, analyzing body language between him and his bowling ball wife. This is from Rivellino, the progenitor of the green line theory, which all alpha males know a lot about, myself included. He's written, "Gentlemen, you want to sit like Jada. Ladies, you want to sit like Will Smith." This is green line theory 101, and Will Smith's broken every single rule here. He's smiling more than her. That's terrible. She's not smiling at all. She's not leaning at all. Her spine's nice and straight. He's leaning into her, which is a sign of weakness. God, you got to feel bad for any man with scoliosis who's freaking out about their bent spine right now. Quasimodo would fail the green line test every single time. What else do we see? We've got her legs are open, which is good if you're Will, but his aren't. His legs are crossed, which is cock shame. Not me, baby. I'm man spreading in this video. I don't know if you can tell. I got my knee up on here because I've got cock confidence. Is that what it's called? And he has ugly sneakers, which again I guess is bad. What am I wearing? Oh, I've got boots on. So I'm passing the green line test every single time, baby. Now we understand the backstory. We're up to Will Smith's latest abysmal move, which is releasing a song that is just bad. All right, it's just not good, and the film clip is very strange. It's called "Pretty Girls," about how much he loves pretty girls.
It's been a problem ever since I was a little boy.
And how would you define this problem?
I like pretty girls.
Yeah, look, man, you can't be in your 50s talking about pretty girls. You sound like a pedophile. Like, I'm sure he's not, all right? I'm sure he isn't. But God, man, you got to call them women. I like beautiful women. Look, I'm 31. I don't feel very comfortable being like, oh, I love pretty girls. It's a little bit weird. I love beautiful women. Beautiful, full-bodied adult women. Not yet at menopause, but certainly finished with puberty by a few years. That's what I'm into. Once you have gray hair, you got to start clarifying these things. I'm not going to be saying girls, man. I love beautiful women. Now, I can't play the song, obviously, but we can analyze the film clip a little bit while it plays here. And it's just Will Smith, I don't know, unveiling his giantess fetish. He's just dancing around with a bunch of women 30 years his junior to the worst music of all time. Now, some people online did point out that this song actually is a really good song if you speed it up by about 1.25, 1.5, and I did that, and it sounds pretty good, but it still doesn't remove the fact that it is rapped by Will Smith, so I just can't take it seriously. After what he's done to his own image, anything this man does, other than release artisanal chairs to place next to queen-size beds, I wouldn't take seriously. As far as brand rehab goes, this song was a disaster. All you need to do is look at the comments to see what people think. Top comment, I didn't think Will Smith was gay, but after listening to this song, I'm not so sure anymore. Will Smith making music in 2025 is a recession indicator. This song gives off, trust me guys, I like women vibes. Yeah, see, if he said women, we probably would be getting some nicer comments. Y'all don't gotta wait in line tonight. You're too fine for the line tonight. This man rhymed line tonight with line tonight. Stop rapping. What's really sad about this is Will Smith is clearly operating on like a classic Hollywood model of making something popular, which is you meticulously plan out a step-by-step rollout and PR plan and release of a movie or a song or whatever. And then because you're backed by the powers that be and the industry and the machine that creates the next famous person, it just works. But we live in a social media age now where stuff generally only really works if people like it, right? Enough people actually like it. And if you just release something and then continue on with a planned and scheduled rollout according to a plan that you came up with probably before the song was even written, that's how you end up with moments like this that are just bewildering to watch. Will Smith is in the UK or something doing a live performance of Pretty Girls, a song that no one liked. And if you watch the video, you can see no one knows what the song is. People are not enjoying it. They're mostly just confused and filming Will Smith because he's famous and going, oh, fuck, Will Smith is here. Dude, look at everyone just standing around. People in these like boiler room type videos in the background usually at least pretend to be into the music, but they can't even do that. People are just standing there confused and sad. It looks like everyone's just like a Skyrim NPC that they've gathered into one place and they can't move. This is confusing. Oh my God, look at just the the lack of motion in this crowd. This is abysmal. What's also funny about this is if you zoom in on Will Smith's face while he raps, you can actually see the fear and realization in his eyes of like, oh shit. This is like me when I get on stage with a new joke and it's just way more offensive than it is funny. And I'm like, fuck, I've made a terrible mistake, but I've got to get to the punchline here so I can rewrite the whole thing. This is not going well. I hope no one's filming at this open mic with 7 people in it. That's the expression that this guy has on his face, is me when I'm eating shit at an open mic. He started having flashbacks to the Red Table Talk episode where he told his wife that he was going to cheat on her no matter what as revenge for her cheating on him.
I'm going to get you back first, and then...
You're going to get me back. I think you've got me back. I think we're good on that, okay? And I don't think it's about getting anybody back.
No, for me it is.
Okay.
How do you think he got her back? Do you reckon he fucked another one of his son's friends? Bro, poor Jaden Smith, just mum and dad getting revenge on each other by fucking all of his mates. Yeah, I can't have any friends over at the house because otherwise they get revenge fucked by mum or dad. It's not good. No more house parties. No wonder he was tweeting so much weird shit back in the day, you know? While some kids on Discord were drowning out the sound of their parents fighting and having a divorce over the kitchen table, poor old Jaden Smith had to drown out the sound of his father getting his back blown out by one of his mates, shortly followed by his mother getting her back blown out by the same mate. I would do way too many psychedelics also.
There you go.
And the crowd goes very mild, or barely even described as mild. And the crowd remains silent for Rita Ora showing up. She's not even on the song. I don't know why. I like her. I met her once. Very lovely lady. One of the most beautiful people I've ever seen in real life. Why is she there? You know, she's not featured on the song. She just showed up. And people were like, who's that lady in the glasses?
See, that's how that song works. You just put it on, they just show up.
Could you imagine walking through the street, you're trying to do some errands, and then off in the distance you just hear, ooh, and people surrounding Will Smith? You think, oh, good, they're killing him. Oh, great. Can I get a few kicks in? This is embarrassing, bro. Now, if you thought the cringe raps from Mr. Smith were over, oh no, this man has an album coming out and they have overcommitted to a plan they made like 18 months ago and they're going through with it, all right? And step 17 of this terribly executed plan is to do a freestyle with Charlie Sloth and diss Chris Rock for some reason.
Big Will. Yeah. Charlie Sloth in the building. Come on, Jada. Here we go.
Just briefly, I love how all British dudes with money end up morphing into the same guy with the same haircut and the same teeth. Whichever doctor in fucking Turkey is doing all of these hair transplants and haircuts and teeth veneers at the same time is making a fortune. That's going to be the first billionaire in Turkey. Whoever the fuck is modifying every English kid in the country. I swear, dude, the only thing that's going to stop all these British kids looking exactly the same is if some imam makes this haircut and those veneers haram or something. That's the only way that it's going to stop.
World dark as night, let there be light. My insights don't sound right in sound bites. I be sitting at the table with the Jedi Knights.
I've been sitting at the table with the Jedi Knights. Let me rewrite that bar for you. I've been sitting around the table with my cheating wife. That's what you really be doing, Will Smith, all right? We've seen the videos. You sit around a red table and your wife says, I fucked our son's mate for months while he was on Percocets. It was awesome.
Now, I'm not the type of man to move in malicious ways, and I am too grown to play childish games. But if you talking crazy out your face up on the stage and disrespect me on the stage, expect me on the stage. Jokers dish it out, cry foul when it's time to take it. City full of real ones, wasn't raised to fake it.
Bro, you are pathetic. There is no way that this dude is trying to reframe him slapping a comedian over an inane joke and then crying, sobbing about it like a fucking bitch. Like the bitch that you are. Absolutely pathetic. He's trying to reframe this as a cool gangster moment. Bro, you cried like a baby. You got up there because you were so upset at your wife and what she did to you and how she ruined your image for a Facebook fucking video deal that you couldn't get angry at her and you couldn't get angry at the world. So you decided to take all of that rage and self-hatred out on a fucking comedian telling a G.I. Jane joke about your bald-headed wife. You are a fucking loser, man. How pathetic. There's no one I respect less than people who lose their minds like this at jokes. How fucking sad. Hey guys, remember when a wife took advantage of my son's drug-addled friend, fucked him, and then bragged about it to my face? Well, how cool was it when I slapped the comedian instead of getting a divorce? Bro, that's not cool.
The energy is outrageous, Will. Outrageous.
I am the illest.
Motherfucking illest.
This shit is how you know that all those conspiracy theorists are just wrong. Humiliation rituals aren't real, okay? Because if they were, this album that Will Smith is promoting, these songs he's been putting out, they would be #1 in every country in the world for the next 6 months. If humiliation rituals were real, what Will Smith has gone through for our entertainment for the last 4 years, he should be the president. Because that man has been humiliating the fuck out of himself for like half a decade now, and it's not working, all right? No one's listening to the music. This is how you know, dude, these humiliation rituals, they're not real. Some of these guys just do it to themselves because they're fucked in their head.
Hey, you know what? I needed that in my life. That was some fucked up energy, bro.
The real winner in this, of course, is Chris Rock, who bided his time to respond to this by landing a lucrative multi-million-dollar live stream Netflix deal to do a comedy special where he responded to the slap. And he just went to town on Will Smith and hasn't said a word since. He didn't say a word until he made a deal, made a fuckload of money, embarrassed Will, and then shut his mouth. Will is still talking about this shit. Chris hasn't mentioned it once. King, baller. This is how you really respond like a man.
People that don't know, what everybody know, his wife was fucking her son's friend. Okay? We all been cheated on. Everybody in here been cheated on. None of us have ever been interviewed by the person that cheated on us on television. She hurt him way more than he hurt me, okay? Okay?
And there it is. Of course, I couldn't say it anywhere near as well as Chris Rock could. She hurt him more than he hurt me. And that's what this is all about. Will Smith's ego and image and feelings and spirit was so hurt by all this shit with Jada coming to the light and being made fun of by everyone on the planet that since then he has been trying to prove that he is this made up image that before social media was perfectly curated and pretty much believed because we didn't get to see behind the curtain of the made up image. But now, because of social media and largely because of his own failings and poor choices as well as Jada Smith's, we got let into their personal life and found out all of this weird shit about them both and got to see how horrifically insecure and scared Will Smith is of life. And no amount of cool freestyles with, you know, influential social media figures will ever be able to take away the huge mistake that Will Smith made that made him look like a bitch on the global stage, which is slapping a much smaller man for a harmless joke about a very famous person at an award show where you're sitting front row. Go cry, brother. No one's going to listen to your music. All right, that's it. loosebeers.com. Come and see me live in 2025. I'm doing UK and Australia. Talk soon.